challenging relationship or relationships. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here with Supersize Your Business. We're going to start using a tool tomorrow to fix in 5 days or less any relationship in your organization. Now, I've used this tool just for the last 5 years. I wish I would have known it earlier, but I didn't. I just, as part of the pandemic, came up with this framework and this tool that works for any challenge, any situation, any obstacle. And this month we're focusing on relationships as we go through a life framework that I've used for decades to add some structure to both our businesses and our life. And this month we're focusing on relationships and the power of relationships. Business is all about relationships. So if we have one that's giving us a hard time, and if you're human, chances are you've had a relationship that is challenging you in some way, or some relationship that you would like to improve. All of us, I believe that we're on this journey of continuously improving every little bit of our life. And one of those most important areas is relationships. It might be a customer that's giving you a hard time. Who hasn't had a nightmare customer? Depending on how long you've been in business, you may not have, but chances are you have, or you have one that just, you spent so much time and energy on, you wonder if it's worth doing business with them. This happens early on in our businesses when we're not working with our ideal clients and customers. We're working with whoever we can find because we want to get our business off the ground. And if you've got one of those, I would say apply this tool starting tomorrow when we introduce it. If you've been with me any amount of time or in the last 5 years, you know it's the SOAP framework. We're going to soap up this situation using a simple 4-step process, and that gives you an extra bonus day to apply it or decide if you need to cut the relationship off. When I had my Italian food manufacturing business, I had a client. They were actually our biggest customer. And I worked on that relationship for years, but finally over the last year before I fired that client, because I needed to let them go because they were spending, and the resources that we had to put forth to deal with this customer became more than the profits that we were making from the customer, and way more in terms of energy and frustration and stress and the way they treated my people. It became necessary to let them go. They represented 80% of our revenue at that time, which was a really scary endeavor. But within 3 months, we had replaced that with clients and customers that treated us right and treated my people right. So there's a line in the sand where sometimes you have to make the choice to let go of a relationship. It's never easy. It always takes me longer than it should. But the longer you let a bad relationship impact you and your life and your business, the longer it takes you to recover from that. So I'm going to recommend, sometimes the answer is, and we always knew it. I mean, I knew I should have let them go 5 years earlier and said, we're done, and figured it out, but I didn't. For a lot of reasons. It was a different person back then. We learn and grow, and we do the best we can at the time. And then we learn, I always say we learn the most from the challenges that we've had in the past. We learn a lot more from our failures and things that don't work out right for us the first time than we ever learn from the time we do something and it's a super duper success. We learn from that too, what to do again and again and again. But those seem to be fewer and far between than the challenges and things that come up every single day in our business. So today we're going to pick one relationship. You pick one relationship in your business. My friend Hunter is picking his boss, his relationship with his boss, Mark, because he feels like they're not communicating and that his boss is always criticizing and picking on him and pointing out his mistakes and the things he does wrong, but he never points out the things that, and so he wonders if he's even doing a good job. So he knows that that's his most challenging relationship right now. He sat down with a piece of paper and wrote out, just made a list. I did the same thing of different relationships in my life, not that are challenging, but just all of them. And what one do I want to either improve, or what one is challenging and I know it's got to change or we're going to have a problem. We always know, instinctually, we always know if something's a problem. I guarantee if I asked you who your best customer was right now, you could tell me. And if I asked you who your worst customer was right now, you could tell me. Same thing for our suppliers and our vendors. I worked in an organization where we had the USDA in every single day. And we had good USDA inspectors who were awesome and easy to work with. And then we had those that were trying to make a name for themselves. And so we're always looking for something that they could criticize or be wrong. They got really frustrated at our place because we didn't ever have anything wrong. Why? Because I was a quality manager in corporate America before I got involved in that business, and I knew what to do to not have challenges. You know, you prevent things from happening, and that's the best way to run our businesses. All right, if I can help you in any way, coming up with a relationship you want to work on, I suspect you already know which one you want to do. I already know which one I want to do with respect to business. So if you're struggling with that, just please ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and we'll jump right into the tool tomorrow. Have a great day.